There is a country where cities are fake. The internet doesn't exist. Families disappear forever, and even tourists can vanish for one mistake. This is not a movie. This is North Korea. Fact number 1, North Korea's fake city. A perfect lie built to fool the world on the North Korean side of the border with South Korea. There is a city that looks too perfect to be real, and that is because it ice and tea. From a distance, it appears like a modern dream. Tall, colorful apartment buildings, neatly painted schools, wide clean streets, fluttering flags, and even a massive flagpole so tall it looks like it's challenging the sky itself. This city is called Kijangdong, but defectors and foreign observers know it by a far more chilling name. The propaganda village. It was built not for people to live in, not for families, not for a community, but for one single purpose: to lie. Its job is to sit in plain view of South Korean soldiers and international observers and silently scream, "Life here is perfect. Don't believe anything else." But the truth behind this city is far darker. At first glance, everything looks alive. Lights turn on at night. Buildings stand tall. Loudspeakers once played cheerful music. Flags wave endlessly. But when binoculars and high-powered lenses were pointed toward the city, something disturbing was discovered. No one was actually living there. The buildings had no glass in the windows. There were no curtains, no furniture, no shadows moving inside. The lights that turned on every evening switched on and off at the exact same time, controlled by timers, not people. Even more unsettling, observers noticed figures occasionally sweeping streets or opening windows. These people were soldiers working in shifts, pretending to be civilians. Former North Korean defectors later confirmed the truth. Kijangdong is a staged illusion. The buildings are mostly hollow shells, some with no floors inside. Doors that don't open. Balconies that lead to nothing. It is a movie set, pretending to be a city. A lie made of concrete and paint. Why would a country build an entire fake city? The answer lies in psychological warfare. North Korea wanted South Korean soldiers stationed across the border to look north and feel doubt. To wonder if maybe life there was better. Maybe reunification under the North was the future. Maybe everything they were told was propaganda. During the Cold War, loudspeakers from both sides blasted messages across the border. South Korea played pop music and news. North Korea responded with claims of economic success, happiness, and prosperity. Kijangdong was the visual proof of that lie. But the deeper truth is even more terrifying. While this fake city was built to deceive the outside world, real North Korean citizens were starving. If a government is willing to construct an entire city that doesn't exist, just to maintain an image, then what else is fake? What about the news, the education, the history, the smiles you see in official videos? In North Korea, appearance is everything, and reality is irrelevant. Even today, Kijangdong still stands. Still silent. Still empty. Still lying. Tourists are not allowed near it. Questions are forbidden. Fact number 2, North Koreans are taught their leaders have superhuman powers in North Korea. The most dangerous lie is not spoken in whispers. It is taught openly, printed in textbooks, carved into monuments, and repeated so often that it becomes reality for millions. From the moment a child learns to read, they are taught something shocking. Their leaders are not normal humans. They are presented as beings with powers beyond logic, beyond science, and beyond question. And believing this is not optional, it is a matter of survival. School children are told that North Korea's founding leader, Kim Il-sung, was born on a sacred mountain under a glowing star, while a double rainbow appeared in the sky. His son, Kim Jong-il, according to official history, could control the weather, walk at just 3 weeks old, and write poetry before most children can speak. State media once claimed that during his first ever round of golf, Kim Jong-il scored 11 holes in one, a physical impossibility, but a fact nonetheless. Questioning these stories is considered treason. The reason for these lies is terrifyingly simple. If leaders are seen as gods, they cannot be challenged. In North Korea, leadership is not political, it is spiritual. Statues of the Kim family tower over cities, and citizens are required to bow before them. Portraits of the leaders must hang in every home, cleaned daily, inspected regularly. If a fire breaks out, people are taught to save the portraits before saving their own children. This is not symbolism. This is indoctrination enforced by fear. Defectors describe classrooms where children cry if they think they have disappointed the dear leader. History lessons are not about dates. In fact, they are about miracles performed by the Kim family. When famine killed hundreds of thousands in the 1990s, citizens were told it was not the government's fault, but a test of loyalty. Hunger became a patriotic duty. Suffering became proof of faith. Perhaps the most chilling part is how deeply this belief is embedded. Many defectors admit that even after escaping, even after seeing the outside world, part of them still feels guilt for doubting the leaders. That is how powerful the brainwashing is. When belief is forced from birth, reinforced by law, and protected by terror, it rewires the mind itself. And the punishment for disbelief, it doesn't stop with you. In North Korea, there is a policy called 3 generations of punishment. If one person is accused of disloyalty, their parents, children, and sometimes grandchildren can be sent to prison camps. Not trials, not evidence, just disappearance. Entire families erased because one mind dared to think differently. This system creates something more effective than guards or walls. Self-censorship. People don't just hide their thoughts from the government. They hide them from themselves. Even thinking the wrong idea can feel dangerous. When leaders are portrayed as perfect, any doubt feels like a personal moral failure. What makes this fact truly disturbing is that it works. Not because people are stupid, but because fear combined with repetition is powerful. When every book, song, lesson, and law tells the same story, reality bends. Truth becomes whatever keeps you alive. In North Korea, leaders do not need to prove their power. The people have already been taught to believe it. And in a country where belief is enforced by terror, faith becomes the strongest prison of all. Fact number 3, almost no one in North Korea has access to the real internet. In most of the world, the internet is so normal that people panic if Wi-Fi drops for 5 minutes. In North Korea, the situation is far more terrifying because for millions of people, the internet does not exist at all. Not limited, not filtered, completely absent. And the few who do have access are watched so closely that a single wrong click can destroy their lives. Out of a population of more than 25 million, only a tiny elite, mostly government officials, hackers, and propaganda workers can access the real global internet. Everyone else is locked inside something called Kwangmyong, a closed internal network that looks like the internet, but is actually a digital prison. No Google, no YouTube, no social media. Every website, article, an image is created or approved by the government. To the average North Korean, Kwangmyong is the internet. School children are taught that it is superior to the global web because it is pure and safe from foreign corruption. What they are not told is that every keystroke is monitored. Computers are registered to individuals. USB ports are sealed. Files are tracked. Even watching a foreign movie can lead to arrest. Defectors describe how dangerous information is treated like a deadly virus. South Korean dramas are smuggled on flash drives. Western movies are watched in secret. Curtains closed, sound barely audible. People don't laugh freely, they listen in fear. Because being caught with foreign media is not a minor crime. It is considered ideological poisoning. The most chilling detail: North Korea doesn't just block information, it rewrites reality. News articles on Kwangyong praise the leadership, announce fake scientific breakthroughs, and report imaginary victories. Natural disasters are blamed on foreign enemies. Economic failures are never mentioned. The outside world is described as collapsing, violent, and starving. According to state media, North Korea is winning. But here's the irony. While citizens are cut off from the world, North Korea is deeply connected digitally in one dark way. The regime trains elite hackers, some of the best in the world, who operate overseas. These cyber units steal money, spy on governments, and attack global systems, all while ordinary citizens don't even know what Google is. This information blackout creates a powerful effect. When you have nothing to compare your life to, you don't know you are imprisoned. Hunger feels normal. Darkness feels normal. Silence feels normal. The internet, something that could expose truth in seconds, is treated as a weapon more dangerous than guns. One defector described using the real internet for the first time after escaping. They typed their country's name into a search engine and collapsed in tears, not because of what they saw, but because of what they realized. The world had always been there, and they were never allowed to see it. In North Korea, the internet is not a tool for connection. It is a forbidden door, and the regime guards that door fiercely, because once people see the truth, control begins to collapse. Fact number 4, people disappear into prison camps that officially do not exist in North Korea. There are places so secret that the government denies they exist at all. No signs, no trials, no official records. Yet satellite images, survivor testimonies, and defector accounts all point to the same horrifying truth. Entire prison cities operate in silence, hidden in mountains and forests, where people are sent not to serve sentences but to vanish. These are known as political prison camps, and once someone enters, they almost never leave alive. What makes them uniquely terrifying is not just the brutality it sets, the logic behind who gets sent there. You don't need to commit a crime. You don't need evidence. Sometimes, all it takes is being related to the wrong person. North Korea follows a policy called collective punishment. If one person is accused of disloyal to questioning the leadership, watching foreign media, or attempting escape, 3 generations of their family can be sent to the camps. Children, elderly parents, infants. Guilt is inherited. Innocence is irrelevant. Inside these camps, life is reduced to survival. Former prisoners describe forced labor from before sunrise until after dark. Coal mining, logging, farming, often barefoot, malnourished, and beaten. Food rations are so small that prisoners eat insects, grass, and rats just to stay alive. Medical care does not exist. Injury often means death. Executions are public, not hidden. Satellite images show vast fenced compounds with guard towers, factories, farms, and mass graves. These are not small prisons. To admit them would be to admit fear is the foundation of the state. The scariest part. Many citizens know these camps are real, but still live as if they aren't. Shadows because fear works best when no one is allowed to speak its name. Fact number 5. Tourists are allowed in North Korea, but one wrong move can destroy a life. North Korea is one of the few countries in the world where tourists are allowed in, but only under one condition. You never stop being watched. From the moment a visitor lands, freedom ends. 2 government-assigned guides follow every group. Every hotel room has listening devices. Every movement is planned. Every smile is monitored. Tourism in North Korea is not travel, it is a carefully controlled performance. Visitors are shown a version of the country that the government wants the world to see. Clean streets, happy workers, grand monuments, perfectly timed celebrations, locals who speak only when spoken to. You are never allowed to wander alone. You cannot talk freely with citizens. You cannot choose where to go. Even your photographs are controlled, and this is where it becomes dangerous. Tourists are given rules, many unspoken. You cannot fold a newspaper with the leader's face. You cannot take photos of unfinished buildings. You cannot photograph soldiers, poor areas, or anything that suggests weakness. Break a rule, even accidentally, and the consequences can be severe. Some tourists thought these rules were exaggerated. They were wrong. Defectors. Documented cases showed that a single mistake, like taking a poster, joking, or filming something unauthorized, can lead to arrest, interrogation, and imprisonment. Foreigners have been detained for actions that would be harmless anywhere else. Apologies are recorded. Confessions are scripted. Pressure is constant. What makes this terrifying is that when something goes wrong, tourists become bargaining chips. They are no longer individuals, they are political tools. Sentences can be extreme. Conditions are brutal, and release, if it comes, is often the result of international negotiation, not justice. Even more disturbing is what tourists don't see. The smiles you photograph may belong to people who have no choice. The guide who laughs may be terrified of saying the wrong thing. A foreigner leaves after a week. A citizen lives there forever. Many former tourists describe an unsettling feeling, the sense that the entire country is acting, that nothing is spontaneous, that every moment is staged because it is. Tourism is not about cultural exchange, it is about control of a narrative. In North Korea, one wrong move doesn't just affect the visitor, it can affect the guide, the driver, the hotel staff. Fear extends outward, punishing anyone connected to a mistake. That is the final truth. North Korea doesn't need walls to trap tourists. The rules are the prison, and for the people who live there, the performance never ends.